Hello, friends. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday here all day. I'm going to give everyone just a second to get notified. I know I'm a bit later than I originally planned, but we are going to roll with it. I'm going to share this over in my Mind Power Collective group, which is my private Facebook group. So feel free to join us over there. All right. Hello, hello. If you're here, say hello in the comments. And we are going to dive right in. So okay, let me start by saying this. Over the last several months, I've been sort of asking you to send me questions in different videos that I've been doing, and realize that a lot of the questions that I am getting aren't from people who, aren't working with me. I'm getting a lot of questions from my actual clients. So I'm going to be doing sort of a series as the questions come in of people asking questions. You are more than welcome to ask me a question. You can DM me, you can send it to me via email, send it to me on my website, post a comment below this video. Hey, Lisa, so happy to have you. Or you can just send me a message, right? But the thing that I think is really important is I get a lot of questions when I'm working with clients, and that's part of the coaching work, right? It's people coming and saying, listen, I've got this situation or this issue, help me deal with it. So I want to start sharing, without sharing too much of the personal details, I want to share some of the general questions that I get so that you can kind of get an idea not only how this whole mindset, this stuff works, but how to apply some of this stuff to your life. And this week I got a perfect question that I knew I had to share with you. And it is very simply, how do we believe differently, right? How are we supposed to believe differently, live differently, change how we think and feel related to different aspects of our lives when the circumstances are what they are, right? So I know I talk about this in various programs. I talk about this, in the Miracle Mindset Immersion program. I talk about this when I'm working with clients one-on-one. But I thought I would just break it down for you a little bit today so that you can really get an idea of how this works. I'm going to just be real with you. Mindset is not a one-hit wonder. You're not going to think something today and do a process today and then think that way forevermore. That's not how it works. It is very similar to how our bodies operate. So when you want to change your body, or you want to go work out, or you want to get stronger, you don't hit the gym once and then forevermore you are, the weight that you want to be, you're the strength that you want to be. There is some focus and effort and choices that go into that, right? It's a practice, it's a process. And mindset is the same thing. And the way that I kind of relate this is the mindset that we all have in any area, your money mindset, your relationship mindset, your mindset related to career or your body or health, was not built overnight. Your thoughts that you have related to anything that you know, anything that you interact with, was created over time. It was created over your entire lifetime. It was created with conversations you had with your parents. It was created with conversations you've had with your spouse and your siblings and your friends, and advertisements and television and social media and all the things, right? The good news is you don't have to wait a whole lifetime to change your beliefs. You don't have to wait a whole lifetime to change what has been planted in your psyche, right? Or what has been planted in your mind. And so the work that I do as a coach is here to help you see some of the problematic thoughts, feelings, beliefs that you have that are limiting you in terms of getting you where you want to be, and help you replace them. So when we talk about mindset, the first step is understanding what it is that you actually want to create. Like, I ask this in the very beginning of any work that I do. If I'm working with a client or getting ready to work with you one-on-one, my biggest question is, what do you want? What is the kind of life that you want? What does that feel like? What are you wanting to create? And then we can start shifting and changing your mindset to create that, to believe in that, to activate the thoughts, the feelings, the focus within you that will help you create that more easily. So that's how mindset is created. That's what it is. So if you think about how your mindset was created, you know that it was created over time. If your mom or dad said money doesn't grow on trees, you didn't all of a sudden believe that money doesn't grow on trees and it's limiting and there's not enough in the world based on that one saying. There were actions, there were practices, there were other things that they were modeling to you that showed you, and they probably said it multiple times because if you're a parent, you know you don't say something once. Um, it was something that was said over and over and over again, and then it was validated, and then it was shown to you, and then it was repeated to you, and then it was a lesson that you learned, and then it was something that you started incorporating in your own life and maybe saying to your own kids, and then you started validating that. So that's how your mindset was created. Now, when you want to change it and you want to do something differently, the number one thing you have to do is you have to choose to change how you are thinking and feeling. Now, you don't have to go back into your entire lifetime and change every single belief that you've ever had and, dig up all the old, dirty laundry and past. And you don't have to do all of that. But you do have to ask yourself, what thoughts and beliefs, what statements, mantras, things are coming out of your mouth consistently? What are the thoughts that are coming up in your mind related to a certain topic that are no longer serving you, that aren't helping you make more money, aren't helping you feel more complete, aren't helping you have more peace? They're not helping you believe in yourself anymore, right? Like, what are those thoughts and beliefs? And then you have to choose ones that are going to feel better. You have to choose, and this is where people get really confused. They're like, but it's a belief, so I can't change it. Yeah, you absolutely can. That's my whole work. That's all of my job, right? And you change it by choosing different beliefs, by choosing the beliefs that are going to support the creation of the life that you want to live. So I'm going to start this new series probably over on YouTube. So if you aren't following me over on YouTube, make sure you do that. It's going to be a whole series related to the mindset of one thing versus the mindset of another thing. So the mindset of abundance is quite different than the mindset of lack. The mindset of love is very, very different than the mindset of guilt and judgment. Health versus illness. Like, there's so many different things that I work with clients on that I really want to help you understand what is the difference in the thinking that is helping you create that situation, right? So it starts with a choice. What do you choose to believe? Your beliefs aren't something that are set and you have them, you're born with them, you can never change them. You absolutely can, but you have to choose differently. You have to choose to think and relate to the different things in your life in a different way. You have to choose that. So the first thing that I have people do is sort of embody and think about that future version, right? I ask you what you want and you go, okay, well, I want, happy, healthy, whole life. I want to feel vibrant. I want to have more than enough money. I want to be in love. I want to wake up happy. I want to have peace. And most of the time, when I'm asking someone what they want, they go to the feeling. This is what I want to feel. And I go, great. Now, what do you think you have to believe about money, about love, about life, about, your partners, about yourself in that space? Are you thinking that you're always going to be struggling? Are you thinking that it's hard to get up in the morning and do that thing that you know you need to do? Are you thinking that no one cares about you and that you're not worthy? No, if you're living that life, you're not thinking any of that. You have a certain knowingness, right? So you are not going to believe these new beliefs, these things that you're choosing. You're not going to believe them right out of the gate. That's not how it works. You have to practice them. You have to, whether you're writing them, reading them, reciting them, it doesn't matter. You have to practice them. You have to be them. You have to embody them. You have to immerse yourself in this choice that this is now who I am. I am no longer a person who looks at herself in the mirror and only sees the things that she doesn't like or the things that she doesn't want to see. She's looking in the mirror now and she's appreciating and loving herself because that's what she wants others to do for her as well, right? I am no longer the person that's going to say, I can't give myself the self care until I take care of all these other people or until I take care of all these other things and then give myself whatever's left in the barrel. No, I am a person who is now pouring into myself first because I see the value and I know the impact I can have when I do that. I feel better and then I can do better, right? So you really have to, it goes beyond just going, okay, I am happy, I am healthy, I am rich, I am, all the things, right? Yes, you say those because practice matters. That's a form of, really implanting that into your psyche, into your subconscious. But beyond that, you have to like live it. You have to be it. You have to make choices from that place. You have to embody the energy of the person that is doing those things. And sometimes that means you're doing scary things. And sometimes that means you're making investments in yourself that you've never done before. And sometimes that means you're going to feel a little anxious and nervous and uncomfortable because you're stepping outside of this little bubble that you've lived in for your whole life. But it's worth it because you know deep down somewhere that that other life is what you were meant to create, that that other part of you is alive and real and true and wants to come to fruition because there's a desire within you, right? So I often get these questions of, great, I want to do this mindset work. How can I change it overnight? And the answer is you can't change it overnight, but you can start seeing the changes pretty quickly. When you start thinking differently, when you start owning your power, when you begin using your voice, standing up for what you know about yourself, when you start owning your power and your worth, and you're living from that place and acting from that place, you are going to see the validation for your beliefs around you, even if they're not like. So when you think about, I often use this analogy. When you think about your mindset, I like to think of our minds as like a garden, right? And when you plant a seed, you don't automatically see something sprout up, right? Unless you've, you know, bought it from the store and it's already grown. But if you plant the seed, it's going to take some time to actually grow. But it doesn't actually take a ton of time to go from the actual seed to seeing something poke out of the soil. The same thing works with your mind. You may not have these deeply like rooted beliefs that you are abundant and you can do anything and you can, live that magical life that you ultimately desire. It may not be so deeply like ingrained in you yet, but that doesn't mean you're not going to see some poking through the soil of evidence that shows you that you are, that those things that you are planting, that those beliefs, those thoughts are actually being validated in your reality. And that's why I say, when you sign up to work with me in particular for mindset, within the first couple of sessions, you're going to begin feeling differently, seeing things differently, experiencing life differently, because you will always find validation for what you believe. If you believe that there is a lack of money and a lack of love and a lack of worth in your life, you will validate every single one of those things. If you believe that you are worthy and deserving and loving and there is abundance everywhere and opportunities find you, you will validate that as well. Everything that you believe gets validated in the world around you. Everything. So when we talk about changing these beliefs and we talk about practicing them, you're practicing them so that they become this normal part of what you're thinking. But you're going to see evidence to support them. You will see that, guaranteed 100%, if you do the work. Just like if you go to the gym and you work out and you eat better and you drink more water, you're going to see the evidence for that. That's how it works, right? A lot of people say mindset isn't science, but it actually is. There is a science to it. So it doesn't have to take a lot of time to start seeing the shifts that are going to occur, right? But it is fluid, which means there is a consistency, there is a momentum, there is an energy, there is a practice that I encourage everyone to do. Find your practice, whatever that is, to keep those thoughts in the forefront of your mind. And if you've worked with me before, you probably have heard me say, there are two pieces to this. There's the daily practice and the planting of the beliefs. And then there's what I call the triage work, right? Where you're in certain circumstances and old beliefs are activated and you need to kind of reorganize your mind and your mindset related to that thing. And that's work that I do with clients, one-on-one. But that, in a nutshell, that's what you do. This is how it works. You choose your beliefs. You practice them. You embody them. You live as them. You act from that place. You be from that place as often as you can. That does not mean you're going to do it 24 hours a day. That does not mean you're going to do it 7 days a week. But it does mean that the more you do it, the more you do it. The more you do it, the more those beliefs get validated. The more they get validated, the more you believe them. The more you practice them, the cycle goes on, right? So is it super simple work? It's a simple concept, but it's not always easy to do because it's a habit, just like anything else. It's a habit. And this is why working with someone by your side, reminding you, like helping you get back on the path, helping you redirect your thoughts and redirect your focus is so helpful, because that time that we spend together is going to keep you in this zone so that you start seeing changes, a lot faster. Okay? Does that make sense? Do you guys have questions over that? I would love to answer your questions about this because I get this question a lot. And I wanted to make it super simple. And I see we're at about 15 minutes. So I don't want to make this video super long, but if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. You can post them below. Right? So in a nutshell, you choose the beliefs that you want to believe. You're not going to believe them right away, and that's okay. You don't have to. But the more you practice them, and the more you look, and I'll add this because I didn't say this before. When I talk about the validation, it comes in two forms. Your beliefs are always going to be validated, right? So if I'm choosing to work on a belief that opportunities always find me, right? Or good things happen to me always, then good things are going to happen. Am I aware of the good things? Maybe, maybe not. Depends on how long I've been working on that belief. But one of the assignments, one of the things that I give my clients as a sort of practice is to actively look for the evidence. When you actively look for the evidence to support this new belief that you're creating, now you have activated this true and very real anatomical part of your brain called the reticular activating system. You have activated it, and now it's looking, sifting, sorting through the world to find the opportunities that you now believe exist. So if you believe that there are no good jobs out there, or there are no good men out there, or there's no money to be found, right? Whatever your belief is, and you go, that's the belief I want to change. Okay, I'm choosing to believe that there are lots of opportunities. There's more than enough money. There are more than enough jobs and men and people and love and whatever in the world. Whatever your belief is, you choose that and you go, okay, and today, for the next 10 days, I am going to actively look for evidence to support this specific belief. I guarantee you are going to find it. Maybe not day 1, probably by day 2, but definitely by day 3 through 10, you are going to be bombarded with evidence to support that belief. And the reason is because you have decided. You've chosen the belief, and you are actively looking for the evidence to support that thing. And you're doing that all the time already. I mean, especially in the climate that we're in right now with, masks, no masks, vaccination, whatever. We're all looking for the evidence to support our beliefs, and we are all finding it. There is evidence. There is some article or video or report to support all sides. So the same thing holds true for what you want to see. If you want more love, then start looking for more love. If you believe that the world should be full of amazing people, then start looking for that. Look for the evidence to support what you want to believe. And I promise you're going to find it. You're going to find it. You're going to reinforce that belief that you have, that you're wanting to enforce. And you're going to create more of that. You're going to create more of a personal connection with that belief for you. You'll have more personal abundance. You'll have more personal love. You'll have more personal luck, more opportunities. because now you're in this zone of looking and seeing and finding the things that support that belief. That's how it works. Okay. I've been getting signs from the universe about health. I see the sign and go, oh, yes, but then it leaves my consciousness. Okay, so Lisa, here's the assignment for you. And this goes for anyone that has the same thing. When these nudges or signs come in, first of all, I want you to start writing them down, right? So the sign comes, you write it down. I want you to commit to that maybe for the month of October and see what happens. When the sign comes, you write it down and then you go back to it at a certain time, depending on what the sign is. If it's like a specific action or like inspired action that you can act on that day, then go ahead and do that. But if it's just this like reminder, like, hey, this exists, and then you forget about it, start writing them down and then revisit them at the end of your day. Okay. That can be really powerful. I have a section in my phone that I have at all times. I have just a file in my phone where I will update and just write down anything that comes to mind. The other night I was falling asleep and I wasn't feeling great and I was like wanting to go to bed early. And as I was dozing off, a thought came and I knew I had to capture it. It was about that new video series. And so I stopped what I was doing, grabbed my phone, typed it up, and then I went to sleep. And so I use that to capture things that I want to share with you, videos that I want to do, chapters for my book, like anything related to that, but also like my personal reminders, my personal evidence to support what I'm creating and what I'm choosing to create, right? Because it's always there. I promise, if you treat your life like an experiment, and you go, I wonder what would happen if I just looked for magic. If I just looked for magic for the next week and every day I wrote down one thing, what would I find? You'd find so much because you're looking for it. But what do we typically do? And I just wrote an article about this. Most of us, again, especially in the last couple of years, most of us, without realizing it, we're looking for problems. We're looking for things to argue about. We're looking for the next hot article in the news that's going to like divide and conquer the world. Like we're looking for these things and we are finding it. We are absolutely finding it. This thought came up this morning, this little nudge, and I'm going to share it with you because it's coming up again. I used to coach a dance team in my 20s. One of the coolest things I've ever done, loved it. And one thing that I found myself saying over and over and over again, and it still rings true, and I may even make a separate post about this, is when the girls, because they're teenagers, right? They'd be arguing or they're having issues or whatever. I would bring them all together and I would say, listen, there is enough negativity in the world without us adding our stuff to it, right? There's enough negativity in the world that you and I don't need to go validating anything. What we need more of is this belief in something better, personally, individually, and collectively. That's what we need more of. So if I can get this message through my videos, through my work, through my clients, through my book, through my writing, whatever, if I can get this message to more people who can live this and embody this, I truly believe that this world will start to change. Not because of me, right? But if more of us did something like this, the world is going to change dramatically. And that's what we need. So if you're not doing it for your own personal gain or not doing it for your own personal happiness or peace, another reason to do it is that we just need more of it. We need more magic. We need more opportunities and possibilities and belief in this world. We absolutely do. And one person isn't going to do it, but one person embodying it and sharing it with someone else and them sharing it, it's a whole domino effect. So again, if you're not doing it for your personal gain, which, you can, that's why we're here to live these amazing lives, do it for the collective, right? So Lisa, let me know if that helps. If you have, other questions about that, feel free to post more comments. But this is at the core. This is the core. And I'll say this and then I'll end. I am not a coach that believes that we have to go back to your whole life's history and dig up all the stuff, right? I think therapy is really great and I think it's good for a lot of people and I've been there and I got massive value out of it. Okay, we're back. I got tons of value out of it, but we don't have to dig up all that stuff. We don't have to dig up everything to change your mindset. Sometimes it helps in understanding. And one thing I say to everyone I work with is that as a coach, I go where we need to go, which means we'll go there if we need to. But if it's not relevant to what we're doing, I'm not going to go digging around in your past to uncover all the things that you need to work through. No, this is forward motion. This is forward movement, right? So choose the beliefs that you want. Choose the things that you want to believe. Choose the things that you want to be validated in your life and practice them, repeat them, talk about them, envision them, embody them, live like you're already living as a person who believes those things, right? And I really believe in a daily practice. And I have a guidebook, a journaling guidebook that I can link in the comments if you're interested. That's 21 days of like journal prompts that you can work through. And I think it also has some additional like affirmations and things attached at the end, but it just gives you a process to start with if you don't have one. So I'll link that after we are done. And then I want to share two more things, and then I promise I'm done. Number one, if you have additional questions for me and you want me to do more lives like this, and I actually love the question piece of this, feel free to send them my way. I want to answer your questions. I want to talk more about like what you are having challenges with, if it's a particular area of belief, if it's a certain situation that you have that's a challenge, let me know. I want to do like a whole series on these. So feel free to send them my way. And then number two, of course, is if you are interested in what coaching can do. If you're intrigued and you want to know like what this one-on-one situation would look like and you want to explore that, send me a message and I can get you hooked up with a free consultation. We can talk and see if it's a good fit, okay? If you're not in a position to invest at this point, I have tons of content and information on my website. I have it on YouTube. I'm going to be adding new videos onto YouTube with this new series coming, so make sure you check me out over there and are following me there, okay? So I hope this is helpful for you. If you have questions, send them my way. You can post them in the comments below. You can share this video. Again, follow me on YouTube, follow me on my website. And I hope this is helpful. This is something we can all do. But remember, it starts with a choice. Okay. All right, friends. I hope that you have an amazing Thursday and I will chat with you soon. Thanks for joining. Bye.